Welcome back to the 100-person Rimworld All Ascetics Colony. Quite a lot has changed here, and I just want to recap quickly what I have done. Okay, so a lot of upgrades to efficiency for today. First off, let's cover the dining room, and refrigeration for that matter. First off, I tried messing with airlocks. Pockets of air and thicker walls generally, I think, work. But I experimented, and really the more I know, the more I don't know. I tried single, double, triple airlocks, but I just said screw it for right now, I'm leaving that. And built a nutrient paste dispenser. More on that later. Next was the hospital. Beautiful room. Really, really nice. They did a good job. Naturally, as the colony grows, they fight. We need to beat them because our love will be known. We have to punch our love into everybody who tries to leave because they do snap from time to time. So we tried shaving off the edge of a cliff and just not building under mountain. Placing in a few beds, making sure it's clean, well lit. Thanks again for all the good tips from last time. I really can't thank you guys enough. This one guy got burned by a flash storm. It was awful, so his left arm got burned, and I really think that the only option was to amputate. Our doctors are still really, really bad, so we're just cutting off appendages. Eventually they'll get them back later, but he failed the surgery like 3 times in a row, and I got really, really nervous because it was losing a lot of blood. Fortunately, this farmer did live, though. And at the very end, I gave him a nickname just so that I wouldn't forget. Armor. Partly sadistic, but partly just to remind me who is missing appendages. We have Eileen as one of the builders, and Dr. Phil for another doctor. This guy I messed up with. More on him later. He was a wild man. I mistook it for gave up on the colony. And then other than that, it was just power grid. You guys have been giving really good tips. I'm burying the power grid under the walls, which is helping the beauty. And this orbital trade beacon I kept moving around. Haven't used one of these before. Fantastic, though. Right here is the best spot. And other than that, just more efficiency. I'm using shelves so that the beauty of the workshops doesn't decline, because they don't like seeing them in stockpiles, but they're okay with shelves. Okay, so quite a lot has changed. I want to do a little overview of the base before I describe my goals for today. Namely, well, probably the biggest change that has affected this colony so much is the nutrient paste dispenser. Now, I had originally thought that since these guys are all ascetics, that they will take out nutrient paste and then still get a mood debuff from it because it's nutrient paste. But it's not only raw food that ascetics don't get a debuff from, it's also nutrient paste, which makes this one of the greatest traits for this type of playthrough. I've been told by a lot of people it would be great if they had like sanguine or iron-willed or any other number of traits. You could obviously change a few traits and make them all incredibly OP, but I honestly kind of like experiencing the temperature problems. Anyway, so we have a nutrient paste dispenser now, and my new problem is that we have too much rice. We have 7,251 rice, and I would really prefer that to be corn. So I think we have a Tantrum on hauler too. That's actually quite all. Tantrum is, I worry about Berserk. I don't worry about that. He's got on a parka, but we're going to be switching over to Dusters today too. This brings me into one of my objectives for today. So since we have so much rice, I want to get rid of some of this rice. It was great when we started because it fed us quickly, and it fed a lot of people, but it's a very labor-intensive crop, as I gather, and as I've been reading up on these crops. So what I'm going to do is, as they harvest this zone, and it looks like just about this entire area has been fully grown, anywhere that it looks pretty much fully grown, I'm going to tell them to cut today. Hauler 2 is no longer having a chance. Great for him. Because I want to replace it all with corn. Corn has a much greater yield, even though that it takes a longer time. Now, there is more risk to this, because we're already at the 10th of Jugust. So I don't want to lose an entire crop, which is why I'm going to go selectively zone by zone as I go through it. I just want to quickly show you the world location that I'm in. And I want to thank one of you guys who helped me out so much in the comments. Oh my gosh, this was the greatest thing. So I didn't realize that I was loading in the mods in the wrong order, and I finally got Fahrenheit and Celsius to display together, so we will be using that. But I have 40/60 days of growth, and since a year lasts for 60 days in Rimworld, I may have a full year of growth on me. Here's where I am in the world. I chose somewhere slightly closer to the poles this time because I want to get better at managing my crops. for really year-round or anywhere that I am in the world. Because eventually, I want to go to the Arctic. Trying to think of what else. So, yeah, anyway, we're at 80 degrees Fahrenheit. We're coming to the middle/end of the summer. Hopefully, our crops will last, but I'm not counting on it, which is why I need to get a massive food surplus. Anyway, rice in favor of corn would be a great move, and just diversifying our crops in general. And speaking of diversification, I've also diversified up our power grid. I just want to show a quick overview of our power grid right now. We have wind and solar energy now. I just want to stop for major break risk. What is your problem, Miner 5? He's one I did not give a name to. He's just been mining in a very inconvenient spot. Okay, and our researchers. Ooh, our researchers are very, very, very well equipped now. I got tree sowing. Maybe they don't have time for it right now. Honestly, I'm going for gas operation because I want them to be able to get really OP guns soon. I don't know if that's the best research move because I know the first 2 or 3 research moves that I like, but then after that, I am bereft of ideas. I don't know where to go from there. Let's just start taking out some of these zones, and we want to slowly... This is going to drive me a little crazy at first, but I'm going to have to do it if I want to maximize my crop turnover. So let's just make a zone. We'll make a small one right in the middle here, and then we'll expand it so that it doesn't combine with the outer one. Corn there, and then we expand, and this should... Great, okay, so then that's all still corn. Great. Major break risk. Now, I don't like putting the low labor-intensive crop close to our base, but at the same time, it's like, what am I going to do? So I'll slowly bring those out, but I just wanted to give you an overview, because I'd probably speed up in a moment and do that. Anyway, I've also been reading up on dusters, and they're incredibly OP. So, like, they give you protection, and they give you a lot of heat insulation, and they give you some cold insulation. We got a sad wander, that's actually quite fine. Only one major break risk. Our colonists have been doing so well, because if we look closer at one of their moods, they have a really... Ascetics have an awful bedroom, so they feel good about that. Spacious, so they get the spacious interior from a nice dining room. Very impressive dining room, extremely impressive rec room, and we'll only keep making this place better. We want to get more rec room items in it. Anyway, so back to my objectives for the day. I wanted to do rice and corn. I wanted to do winter and summer clothing with cowboy hats and dusters, for which we're getting an electric tailor bench. And then beyond that, I want to get this fridge slowly mined out. The reason I'm having only one miner do this right now is because I want to keep the temperature incredibly low. Because look at how much overhead mountain there is here. I've been mining out everything except for overhead mountain, pretty much. We might bring in another cooler just to hypothermia. Oh, for Miner 9, because he's been in there for so long. Yes, I did anticipate this. So let's actually take that parka off of the other person and give him this. Wow. I am slightly proud of that hypothermia, you know? Okay, what is this? Is that actually going... Okay, it's going down. He's doing better. We are going to give him the parka next. I have to find the colonist with a parka. There was one. Tailor 3, you do not need that parka. Take off that parka, put it on the ground. Alright, so now he'll find something else to wear. And then I'm going to just have you wear this pigskin parka. And I'm going to call him Cryo Miner. Because cryo means ice. Cryo Miner. Okay. That will help me identify which one he is. And also the fact that he is wearing a parka. Anyway, I want to mine this fridge out slowly because I want to keep the temperature controlled. If you look on the lower right, we're at -3 degrees Fahrenheit. This gives him 200% cold resistance as he goes through this. Is this hypothermia? Okay, so he's still shivering. We'll just give him a minute to get back out. I don't know if there's a way to designate a particular miner to do this job, other than just manually have him doing that, but it's fine. Play some horseshoes for a little while, stop shivering, and then you'll be fine. Anyway, one other thing I wanted to mention was orbital trade beacons. So I had been messing this up for a while, but I've de-roofed some of the area over this orbital trade beacon, so hopefully this will start working for me today. I just took out a little bit of roof for it, and we did have a trader come by before, but it turns out that you need to have one outside. I looked this up on the forums, and I do believe... Whoa, look at all those arrows. I do believe that that's how that works. Anyway, I'm going to speed through just to get corn planted in the ground, and then... Oh yeah, and our hospital too. Our hospital is pretty great. That and shelving for these areas so that it doesn't look so unbeautiful in here. The room, well, it's still awful, but that's because there's so much garbage on the ground. Anyway, I think things are going really swimmingly, and I'm just worried about, like, some sort of military threat coming through, which is why I'm having our researchers... Now, there's one of them who has a cowboy hat. Eccentric type, I guess. But, oh, Minor 10, you get out of there. I will have someone else do that. But anyway, lots and lots to do, so I'm gonna get that corn done. I will say this, if you ever have a colony that's quite this large, it is a great idea whenever anybody has a mental break, for most mental breaks that affect the other colonists, to just have other colonists beat them up until they are finally yours again. Let's see, the cleaner. Usually somebody else, like, it is so well automated. Rimworld, like, I'm incredibly impressed by Rimworld as a game, because usually by the time that I click, somebody else has already designated a task. Anyway, so we got more corn growing in the fields. That was one of my main things. And now, for the clothing, we're going to be getting a cotton harvest soon. So I'm just going to use whatever I get from that to make dusters and cowboy hats. And I might even just suspend the cowboy hats, because I think that the dusters are slightly better. I don't anticipate any more real heat coming from the summer. And that was one of the major things that, as you may recall, I was very concerned about before. Like a massive heat death of my colony or a cold death. And so it seems that we've made it through one. Now that we're better prepared, I think we can make it through another one. That, and we just have tons of weapons lying around we're going to need to arm people up with, or sell, ideally. I should also explain what happened in Cook 3. So Cook 3 went on a wild man run, and I didn't know what to do, because I didn't realize that he just comes back later on. So what I ended up doing was arresting him and imprisoning him. So it's actually okay, because our warden... I mean, we're out a guy, yes, but our warden will now get experience for social, which is actually a great thing, because they learn at such slow rates that it's worth it for them to do this. And this is one of the reasons why I started with a smithy right now, because I don't really need a smithy so badly, but, I mean, I will need a smithy for some items, I think later on, with, like, armor. I don't honestly know, but I don't want them to not have smithing, and then that to just be a massive bottleneck effect for our colony. So I'm just going to have them start making helmets. Oh, no, that requires crafting 5. Actually, that's crafters. Wait, smithy. Okay, I'm going to figure this out. Okay, I got my smithy up and running, and I'm having them make pilas forever, just so that they can gain some experience to start with, because I don't think anyone is any good at that. And then we're also getting a smelter, because we do have a few steel slag chunks, and one of the major bottlenecks for this colony at this point has been the lack of components. Steel, we've actually had a surprisingly high amount of steel. I'm not sure if I ever finished explaining my power grid before, but let's just go back and look at that. So one thing I did, to many people's suggestions, was to hide power lines in walls, because they actually get a negative beauty debuff whenever they see a power line out in the open. So there's -3 beauty for this power line in the middle of the grass fields, and in general, that's just not a good thing. It's slightly unbeautiful in the fields, but you know, if we bury them on the inside of walls, then they're totally fine. So I've tried to bury everything in walls, even all the way back to here. And that is actually going really, really well. So if you want to steal that for your own game, unless if I'm completely doing it wrong, then feel free. Let me see, extreme break risk, low medicine, hunter lacks range weapon. Some of these things are really not that big a deal, but now I'm starting to see the temperatures drop. I want to get to work on those clothes now. So I think I'm just going to focus everything on those work priorities now. Okay, since it does not appear as if we're going to have enough cotton for parkas, or not parkas, for dusters in time, I'm just going to have my hunters start hunting the local wildlife. Now, this requires a lot of micromanagement because they're all terrible shots. One thing that you can do is to give them awful bows. I'm hoping that or I want to make use of what I have, so I'm giving them the excellent ones right now. Otherwise, they do get more shooting experience if they have worse ones, but at the same time, I don't want my hunters to all get killed. So, hopefully they will do a decent job. and just hunt more animals. Anyway, we're going to use the rest of that, get our cooks to butcher the animals, and then get more light leather and other materials. I want to say a big thank you to Chris, who has given me just tons and tons of great tips. Really just like pages of like well-listed points. One thing I've been doing now is to use wooden shelves in order to make less ugliness spread throughout the room, because usually when you have supplies on a shelf, or if you have them in a stockpile in a room, it will make the room much, much uglier. But if you have them on a shelf, it actually looks fantastic or the shelves do not detract from the room's beauties, so people who generally spend a long time in there because they're crafting or making art all day or whatever they're doing in the workshop, will then not feel so terrible about themselves. Anyway, more leather, but this is going to be kind of a painfully slow process. And I also noticed, speaking of clothes, that it does not seem that our cryo miner is completely warm in his parka, even in this small area, because this place is freaking cold. So we're going to want to get... Oh, no. Cougar... I didn't even realize that we had cougar meat. Well, we've not been consuming meals, so... It's fine. It's a little bit of cougar meat. Okay, we finally got gas operation now. So now we should soon be able to make autocannon turrets, precision rifling, and multi-barrel weapons. I think at this point, yes, I would like to get drug production so that we can get... Whoa, what just happened? Food binge, Gimli. Well, that is characteristic of Gimli. Well, no, Gimli wasn't... He was a thick dwarf, Alright. We need to get... where's my research? I like what the researchers do after they're done. They all like go out for a plate of food together. They're all like, "Ooh, that was a lot. We just made a great accomplishment, boys. Good job." And then they're all idle for a second, so I have to bring them. Yeah, 8 colonists idle. We finally have the researchers. Good. You earned a rest, but at the same time, get back to work. It is good to let them see the light of day every now and then, though, because they get deprived of recreation. But otherwise, they are generally very stable, high-functioning members of society. At this point, let's get, I'm thinking I would like to get drug production soon, though we have used less than half of the medicine, even considering all of the things that have gone wrong since the beginning of our colony. I'm going to get gun turrets, because guns will be the most helpful thing next. Ideally, I'd like to have everybody armed with, like, an assault rifle in the fields at all times. I just want to see how is our colony's wealth has skyrocketed, is going way, way higher than it was before. We want to be careful with that, because Randy is going to start to do some terrible... I'm just really surprised that he hasn't spawned raids on us. I think it might be because of all the mental breaks. It's just that we do a really good job dealing with mental breaks now. Like, that used to be my bane when I first started playing Rimworld. I was terrible with dealing with mental breaks. I was usually the death of all my colonies. Just someone would set everything on fire. And it is probably yours if you are like... If you watch any of my Rimworld videos from 2017 or 2018, I actually got chased off because people were like, "Oh, you're so terrible at the game." Alas, I still am, though. I'm probably just... You know what is really discomforting is that I'm probably just not noticing all of the things that I'm doing wrong, and somebody better than me is noticing all of them. So thank you for forgiving me at this moment. Alright, let's see, low medicine. I think that's fine. We're just going to keep on mining this place out. These people seem to come out of here when they have hypothermia, so I'll just let him finish off this one rock. Is this all still mountain overhead? It seems we are doomed to a life under a mountain under here. Or over here. Now, ooh. That ain't good. I'm going to need to do more to insulate this place. I'm going to probably get a row of coolers in the near future, because we need this to cool back down to... Ooh, cleaner 8. What the fuck are you doing in there? Alright, oh, he wants to clean it. Okay, that's fine, I guess. But we want this to go back down to 0 degrees Fahrenheit, because that's the point at which infestations, I believe, cannot spawn anymore. I think that's negative 17 Celsius, so we'll see if they match up. Because I think the game is based off of Celsius temperatures. Negative 10. Alright, we'll let one more miner in there. And then we'll just close that place up forever after that. Punch this man, he's insulting people. Okay, back to work. Okay, Cutter 2 has been reformed for insulting people. You aren't allowed to insult anyone. Great, our tailor is finally getting to work on some clothes. We'll also give him, well, he has plenty of pants here too. I will say that the pants can stack with the other clothing because they're considered leg armor, and dusters are considered a shell layer of protection, so that gives them even greater insulation, so I further won't have to worry about anything at all. I'm also just keeping this room slightly colder than it needs to be. Now, negative 17 degrees Celsius is enough, but I have designated to go down all the way to negative 10, is that negative 10 degrees? Yeah, negative 21 degrees Celsius, so 4 degrees under, and I guess it takes a longer time to deal with this stuff. I'm guessing that the temperature in this game is like cellular automata or something that you can't actually see, but is simulated there. I have no clue, to be honest, how it's coded, but it just seems like a cellular automata kind of game programming thing. If you don't know what cellular automata is, look it up. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in computer programming. But I think that the next task is going to be to fully insulate this room by trying more coolers to see if they can more quickly cool the entire place. Continue with this chimney area over, well, we'll need to do it here because I believe that this is a rock roof here, so we can't, I haven't tried. I don't think that you can remove rock. I'll try it, but I don't think that I can remove rock roofs. We'll have a big chimney here, and we'll have double or triple cooling over here, so that we can then cool down this room really fast, and then let people bring things in and out of the stockpile. Beyond that, I'm probably going to thicken these walls, and then create a larger outer refrigerator over here, just so that they don't have to go back out into the stockpile as much. And this is all for the purpose of taking all of this rice, which spoils in about a month from now, so we do have time to think about this, back here further into the cave so that we can have a massive pile of rice underneath the mountain that is going to keep us alive throughout the entire winter. And after that, maybe I'll be able to focus fewer people on the planting, because it is beginning to seem overkill, but I don't know, the winter is an uncertain time. And we got alpaca wool, that's great too, we will use that for clothing. I will say this, take a closer look at the nutrient paste dispenser. This thing is incredible. I'm going to install more hoppers on this thing so that they have to do even less loading of it. But I expected more people to lose their minds in the morning when we were trying to load it up. Now, I don't know if some of them are still eating without a table because we are still getting a couple of mental breaks. And I really don't even think that we should be getting even that many. So I'm going to install more chairs and so on and so forth. And just more recreational equipment, and I could probably even dig out more of the side of this mountain because it's only rock roofs. So we can make this room even more spacious. We'll have to add in supports, yes, probably. I did add one there right in the middle, a wooden wall. But we can use that and make this a massive pleasure palace. Okay, one thing that's stopping us from getting more good research is the fact that we don't have a high-tech research bench. I do want one of these. It's just mainly a matter of that I can't find many more components, so we're going to need another trader to come along with components. Either that or just start mining around, or I don't even know, like raiding other people, possibly at this point. There is one right there, okay, we'll take that, but it's still, it doesn't amount to quite that much. So we're going to need to go start making deals with other factions because we have enough steel, but this is becoming a major limiter to our colony. We need so many more things, but we just can't get them because of these stupid components. I think I traded a few away in a previous series, but now I'm just like, holy cow, they're insanely valuable. we really, really do need them. So yeah, I guess we'll just go to a trader for that. I can't think of much else. We'll just keep on building sculptures to trade for them. You know what, I realized that my orbital trade beacon, despite the fact that it's in a roof, I think it's still considered inside since this is a room. So I'm gonna move it back outside just because I haven't been seeing orbital traders come by, so that's my only way of knowing. I had seen this posted several ways on the Steam forums, but I think it must be outside necessarily, so. 8 colonists idle, we've still got the research. Oh, we need to actually give them something to do. Let's give them drug production at this point. They do get done with research in like 1 day now. Eventually we will need that, so I'll just start working on it now. And we've also got dirt here, where I'm turning into like a soccer mom at war with dirt. because I just don't want them tracking dirt on anything, especially here by the hospital. So what I might end up doing at this point, before we start getting sterile tiles, well, sterile tiles, the main reason why I'm not building them is because our construction skill, despite all of this construction, is still too low, which is really one major limiting factor for this colony. So we will just try to cover up all of the dirt over here. That's not smooth floor already. Let's get that. 1, 2, 3 there as well. I'll just keep checking this for dirt. What is not already... you know, we have enough sandstone that it doesn't really matter, and they work with sandstone quickly enough anyway. So let's just start flooring the entire area. And then we're going to want to re-roof that spot. I know I'm going over smooth stone here, but it gives my builders something else to work on. And to be honest, they don't really have that much to work on right now. They need to keep on grinding up some of their skill. Let's also just slowly mine out this. I want to keep on slowly mining through this entire place. And, whoa, what was that? Social fight? Okay. Well, that's fine. Except somebody lost his leg from a social fight because he got bit on the leg. That was weird. You know, I'm thinking it would be really efficient later on if we could somehow fill some of these rough stone areas with hydroponic basins. Only because I'm losing out on grow zones. And it's not really the fact that I'm losing out on grow zones, it's the fact that I'm losing out on grow zones close to home. I think the massive invisible cost of this colony so far has just been the trek from here all the way out to there. And some people had suggested that I put the fields in the middle and the beds around at the beginning. And honestly, looking back, I think that would have been a pretty good idea, because I was thinking about defense when I was doing this, but it didn't occur to me that we would eventually get this strong. Like, I thought something else would go wrong. So anyway, let's just keep building things out of wood, shall we? Because they keep messing up so many of their goddamn constructions. Oh, they actually did manage to make a good quality marble table. Well, that is fantastic. Let's do this. Let's get this zone, build roof over this again, because it failed. And then let's go, go frenzy research. Oh, great job, Research 1. Well, you know what? They're doing fine without high-tech research benches for all the low-quality stuff, I suppose. We're gonna want to de-roof this and put another thing in here. Okay, I'm gonna get this rest of this fridge set up and then be right back. Okay, I'm just self-diagnosing a lot of our problems right here, and one of the main ones is just the lack of components. As I'm seeing this, we want to raise the size of our power grid, we want to get more batteries, and I just don't think that one cooler in here, although it's probably deterring a lot of possible infestations from occurring, I may have to seal back up part of this mountain, only because it is... I mean, it's freezing, but it's not freezing enough to completely prevent infestations. We're nearly there. It's probably something like a triple wide wall or something like that could make this happen. But right now, I'm not totally happy with how this looks. I think, I didn't do another stupid thing, did I? No, yeah, there's still... I'll be damned, yeah. So, at this point, I think that we need more components. So, I'm going to start trading with neighboring tribes because I don't see any more components anywhere else on the map. There's, like, some steel around. There's probably some components buried deep underneath a mountain or something like that. And before we get fabrication, the research, we won't be able to do any of that at all. So, where's our research? If we want to get fabrication, which lets us make components, we're first going to need components from a high-tech research bench. So we're going to want to make that high-tech research bench, but first off, we need to send out a caravan to somebody to just get some components, because at this point, I can't call anyone because we're not friendly with any of the factions near us, so I'm going to have to be really nice to some of the neighboring tribes if I want to get these components. So I'm going to go out into the world and see who our closest friends are and just try to get a good trade thing going. Alright, at this point, I'm pretty much content to just leave the fridge closed for a long time. And oh, you are so nice to me today, Randy. Thank you, a bulk goods trader. Well, Jesus, that's fucking great. That is awesome. I was stranded here. I hope that he has some watch, he's not gonna have components. Oh, wait. Maybe was it somebody in the orbital? I should read those. Oh, it was somebody passing orbitally overhead. Wow, that would have been really bad to miss that. Well, okay, so then this guarantees that it is working, right? Oh, fantastic, and they have 29 components. We'll buy all of them and sell whatever they want. We're going to just cancel this for a second, and we're going to put all of our crap in a stockpile right over here. Who cares if it's... Yeah, there we go, that's fine. Alright, let's just get high priority for everything else over here, and we're going to trade all of our crap to this trader. Okay, I just manually overrode a lot of the colony's work orders, so at this point we should be able to trade pretty much all of our weapons to this bulk goods trader and just get lots and lots of money, because we are rich now and we do deserve these goods. Okay, come on over, we're going to beam you up these weapons. Let's see, we're going to give him all of our... Will you take our... No, he won't take it. I'm gonna need to put the really good stuff in if I want to get this. Anyway, we've got some, so let me just make sure that he doesn't get away. We really, really do need those components, though. 430, and we have how much silver? If I accept this, I hope that he doesn't just walk away. Maybe I'll wait to see what he... Is there any indication of what he wants? Bulk goods trader is market value category, positive... It doesn't really give me any inkling of what he's willing to buy. Trader is not willing to buy this. Maybe if I see some of the things that he's selling, he'll be willing to buy something similar. I guess I'll put my pants in there. Usually they like the pants. Alright, I'm just gonna figure out what this guy wants to buy and then get as many components from him as I can. Okay, we just put a random stockpile zone there for the weapons, and we put all of the pants. I know these are items that we started the thing with, but it's just too funny. I can't not do it. So now we're going to trade many pairs of pants to the bulk goods trader, and perhaps, no, we don't have any sculptures to trade, and I do actually like our sculptures, and I don't want to sell too much else. So at this point, he seems to be willing to buy the pants, so we'll give him a lot of pants. I know that's 22 pairs of pants, but there's just more stuff that we need. There's probably a couple other things. Could we sell him our go juice? At this point, though, we don't have that much in bulk, so that's fine. Let's also just buy those components. Don't forget about that. Okay. Positive number we buy, negative numbers sell. Do we actually have 4... Do we have our silver with us? I could have sworn we had some silver in reserve. Let me just try this first. I don't think that this will work. Yep, that will not work. Okay, so we're going to be able to get how many components out of this? 12 components. That's probably enough. I'm honestly curious if we'll just be able to trade. Okay, so we can still trade even with that happening. Okay, so let's just trade with him again. We'll just try to sell off as much of this other stuff as we can. At least the stuff that we don't need. Oh, and we got another bulk goods trader nearby. I wonder if this is an opportunity to arbitrage sneakily. Well, let's see. He's going to... Will you also accept our pants? Okay, he will accept our pants. And I think even for a prettier penny than Starshot Interplanetary Traders, that cheap fuck. No, actually, they're both willing to exchange the pants at the same rate. Okay, so they will take my pants, but that's it. Okay, we will sell them all of the pants. And we will buy as many components as we can. There we go. Okay, how many... That is great. Let's keep on putting more pants in there. We can make pants in time, more cloth pants, but components just... It's not the same. It's not quite the same. Alright, off to more. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything that we could sell to the trader. There is a Thrumbo. Well, I'm still scared of the Thrumbo because he might just kill somebody one-off. So I'm just going to allow the Thrumbo to be here until we have more high-tech machinery and so on and so forth. Let's delete that stockpile zone. Everybody's going to bring everything back into our stock, but we can't sell any of our crappy maces and stuff, so I have no clue what we're going to do with all of these. But at this point, we have enough components now to just last us a very, very short amount of time. But let's get up to fabrication, because I did not realize that that's such an important technology for being able to create your own components. I made just a couple more batteries to deal with any other possible power woes that we might experience. I'm just gonna hook up this battery to the grid, and that looks a little iffy, so I think I'm just gonna do that. And at this point, let's get a high-tech research bench so that we can start researching fabrication, because they're working fast enough, these guys. And then once we have fabrication, we should have no more... Muffalo is but Nigel Thornberry didn't even go to this... This is too good to be true. I mean, I have not had enough bad shit happen to me. Though, to be fair, I played this scenario about 4 times before I was comfortable recording it on YouTube, and I'm still pretty bad at it. But... wow, you know, we are going to have enough food. Unless if the food all rots in here, we're going to need more insulation somehow in this fridge, but I'm too scared to open up the fridge anymore because I don't want mega spiders to spawn in there, because that would still mean the end of the colony. Let's just get research benches, fabrication going, and then we'll worry about our technological woes. Okay, so this research bench is going to cost us 10 components and 250 steel, so it's very costly. I know that they can botch constructions, and they're still not at a level where I really trust them, because they're not at level 8 yet, so they could still mess this up and lose a lot of components. I don't know if they would lose all of them, and I'm not honestly 100% sure if they can even lose components for this kind of thing, but I'm guessing that it can and possibly will happen, so I'm getting our best builder on it. Builder 7 is supposed to have 7 or 6 construction skill at this point. I think Eileen, the one-legged builder, used to have the best construction skill, but since Eileen lost his leg, his glory days of building masterworks are since over. Builder, which one is this? Builder 5 is also pretty good at this. Builder 3 or construction 5, well, they're fairly even, but I want to make sure I prioritize the right ones on it. Now, do you have any other bullshit that could make you unhappy when you're making this? I don't even know if that affects it. He has enough light. I just want to maximize his chances at doing this right. He's like, okay, I'm going to screw it now. Wish me luck. Geez, Builder 6. Where's Builder 7? Builder 7 was supposed to be on this bullshit by now. Hauling the steel. Okay, there. Finish this off. Finish this off, man. He's gonna haul over the rest of the components. Come on, come on. You can do it. You can do it, man. You can do it and not mess up. Please. Please. Yes! We have a high-tech research bench. Okay, screw geothermal power. We need multi-analyzers and then fabrication because we need more components ASAP. Okay, one thing that I'm also going to do, since it's kind of a luxury, but we can't really afford sterile tiles right now because we need construction skill level 8, and it's still going to be a while before they get to that, I'm going to put metal tiles on the ground in the research room. They get a bonus to cleanliness, so this should make the room cleaner. Is it all well lit too? Lit 50%. That's as light as I think it gets. So they're going to be researching at a faster speed right now. We took away one research bench. Might see if we can find some... Ooh, and spacecraft landed nearby too. This is really, really good. But I have a terrible feeling that something bad is about to happen. Usually, only when things are going this well, does something really bad strike us. So let's go over what's happened so far. We managed to switch out rice for corn, or corn for rice, or whatever it is. I put some of it in the better grow zone. We still have a lot of food now. We have 18,000 rice, which is probably enough to feed us for, I don't know, even like 10 days. The thing is that the nutrient dispenser gives you, I think it's, oh gosh, it's 8 units of food per meal rather than 7, and I think that still sates the colonists the same amount. Not 100% sure on that, but I think in general it's just more bang for the buck. So we have that. We have a lot of our dusters. I'm starting to see more people pick up dusters. The Miner 4 has a duster on. We're getting some cloth, and our tailors, though grotesquely inexperienced, whereas the tailoring skill, oh, I guess that's under crafting. Oh, wow, I cannot believe that I didn't notice. I think that those are on the same... the same type of skill. Anyway, our tailors are terrible. But they are beginning to work on that, so they should get faster, making cowboy hats and dusters for everybody. I'm seeing more cowboy hat themes going on, so we should survive that. Research is happening, and we're getting into the point where this colony is getting fairly advanced. Now I'm going to make sure that I have enough components to start getting people armed with firearms, and then we're going to be incredibly OP, except we're going to be like a lot of stormtroopers, because we won't be able to shoot, like, anything. I think that's enough for one day, because that was quite a lot. But we're doing really, really well, but we're also coming to the end of the summer, and I'm honestly a little bit afraid of what might happen in the future. I'm going to have to make it through a lot of the winter without, like, access to anything. We'll probably be making use of the goods trader, but so much we have to provide for ourselves, whereas with other colonies, you can trade a bit and last for a long time. You need to do so much more forward planning with these guys. Or just last-minute panic planning. Whatever it is. But it looks like we'll be getting all of this corn. Unless if we get a massive cold snap, so... keep your fingers crossed for that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!